Hi, I am Osman. I'm an energy healer on a master level with telepathic capabilities. I specialize in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher. I've been practicing yoga for almost 50 years and teaching for 44 years. Students from over 100 countries, thousands of them, across. And also myself continued my education and studied under various masters under different disciplines of yogic science and developed my own combination protocol and adapted and made it simple for the 21st century. Be sure to visit my website, yogawellness786.com, and download my free 5-minute yoga and meditation program. Also, remember my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. So, why is it that sometimes you are practicing the yoga postures and it is so difficult? And now maybe you're practicing it for a year or months or weeks or maybe even years, and you can't even bring your forehead to the knee, and it's absolutely difficult, and you're having difficulty, in being flexible, or you got the basic flexibility, right? And But you can't do the advanced postures. Now you're practicing it for decades, right? And why can't you just take your leg and put it behind your head? And how you see some people, they can just practice yoga, they're like a rubber, a piece of rubber. They can get into such positions so easily. They sit in that cross-legged position, the Padmasana, and so easily, and you're struggling to even sit normal cross-legged, right? Why is it that you're having this difficulty? Is there any solution for it? Yes, right? I'm practicing for so long and I know. And even myself, I was able to do some very extreme postures. And then I didn't feel it's necessary and I stopped doing it. And now I just can't do the extreme postures. But if I want to, I know how to do it. So the secret is in a combination of things. Firstly, you need, if you've been practicing it for a long time, right, under the correct guidance, the correct system of yoga postures, then naturally your spirituality will awaken. You need to awaken your spirituality in order for the advanced postures to be possible, right? Especially when you're starting later in your life, as a teenager or your young adult life. If you start starting as a child, like 5 6 year old, amazing flexibility, right? I taught my children from childhood, 3 4 years old and 5 years old, and when they do the bow posture, sleep on your stomach, curving your head backwards like into cobra, right? Do a cobra posture, and then bending your knees backwards and getting the toes from behind you to touch the back of your head, right? And that was easy peasy for them, right? Because they're young, right? And till today, I was never able to do it, but I know how to achieve it. I became close to it, but I didn't want to go, to that, and I didn't find that was something exciting to achieve. I had better things, to do than to try to achieve that, in my perspective. But maybe this is something you want to do, right? Or maybe you're a yoga teacher and you want to win over students by being able to do it masterfully, and win the respect of your students. I don't know what your reason could be. So the secret behind being able to perform and be the higher and higher levels is the degree of the increase of the life force energy on the advanced level. Or your Kundalini energy. When your Kundalini energy is like 100%, you're going to be like a rubber, piece of rubber that's going to be able to bend. But not only that, not only the energy, a combination also for the right diet. If you are eating like we are in a society now, we're eating an omnivore diet, we're eating everything. So yoga is more plant-based protocol, right? So let's say you're a vegetarian and you're still having difficulty. Vegetarian alone is not enough. You're eating preserved foods, eating tofu from a box, and all this is not going to help you. It's not rich in natural energy. So raw protocol. So if you go to Dr. Brooke Goldner's website and go into her protocol, where she's eating just on a daily basis only raw cruciferous vegetables with a handful of flax seeds, and they're adding some fruit for flavor, and drink and eating only that. So some people are on certain levels of illness that they have to have that type of diet for the rest of their life, right? When I tried that protocol, man, not only do you lose weight, right, naturally, you don't have to worry about what quantity to eat. And I'm someone, I've got a voracious appetite, as a thing. So that protocol, you can eat how much you want, you're going to still lose weight. And the most stubborn fat, the belly fat, the love handles in your side, right? That is like impossible to go. That was going with the Brooke Goldner protocol. So when you're having that type of protocol, right, and you've had someone to activate your spiritual energy, right? Or you're practicing long term and you've activated yourself. And then you'll find you're becoming more and more and more flexible. Flexibility is increasing. And the longer you continue with the very plant-based whole foods diet and sticking to like the raw cruciferous vegetables, that is nutrient dense, right? Holistic and everything. And you're having no preserved foods, nothing artificial, and not having, tons of supplements and all that that are artificially created, right? Not having anything artificial, then your flexibility is going to naturally. You can even be 70 years old. I promise you, you have the diet and you practice for a while, or have your spirituality awakened like a shortcut. You can do it in one session, right? Not every person, but majority, 99% person can be awakened in one session. Some people need like 20 sessions, right? Very rare, fraction of a percentage of people. Spirituality is awakened, your chakras are unblocked, and you're eating the right foods, plant-based, right? Dr. Brooke Goldner, right? Secret. You're going to be, your flexibility is going to improve. And then as you're practicing increasing your kundalini energy, you have to practice the advanced kriya that I teach, and you have to raise your kundalini and increase it to the maximum. Once the maximum level, you can be contortionist as well. Does it mean the contortionists are all have activated the kundalini? No, these are people who have special talent. They are very flexible, they are born double jointed, right? Born like that. There are many people naturally like that. But I'm saying you as a normal person, normal human, you want to be able to, you'll be able to do that, through the yogic practices. And hope that information helps you. Take care of yourself always.